If you're over 65, there's one small but powerful change you can make to your daily routine that could protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and even keep your bones strong, and that's eating the right kinds of nuts. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Not all nuts are created equal, and choosing the wrong ones, or eating the right ones the wrong way, can quietly work against your health. See, nuts are nutrient dense. That means in just a handful, you're getting concentrated fats, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds. That's fantastic when your body needs a boost, but dangerous if you're not paying attention. Some nuts can sneak in harmful molds, block key minerals your body depends on, or overload your system with calories and compounds that put extra stress on aging kidneys and joints. A recent review in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that moderate nut consumption was linked to better cognitive performance and heart health in older adults. But it also showed that overconsumption, or picking the wrong type, was associated with increased inflammation markers and metabolic stress. In other words, the same food that helps some seniors thrive could be holding others back. That's why today's video is so important. We're going to talk about 4 nuts that are like gold for your aging body if you eat them the right way, and 4 others that may do more harm than good. You'll learn what to choose, how much is enough, and why this tiny tweak could make a real difference in how you feel every day. 4 nuts you must eat. Number 4, let's talk about a tiny treasure that could become your secret weapon as you age. Almonds. For those of us over 65, these aren't just a tasty snack. They're a daily lifeline to staying strong, steady, and independent. Here's why. As we age, our bones begin to whisper quiet warnings. A small stumble that once meant a bruise can now lead to a fracture that changes everything. But almonds quietly fight back. Just 1 ounce, a small handful of about 23, delivers 76 milligrams of calcium, more than any other nut. That's like sipping a quarter glass of milk, but with a powerful bonus, magnesium and vitamin E, working together to help your body lock that calcium into your bones. One study in Osteoporosis International found that postmenopausal women who added almonds to their daily routine saw significant gains in bone density over just 6 months. Stronger bones, one satisfying crunch at a time. And your heart? Almonds don't stop there. Their monounsaturated fats work like tiny scrub brushes, clearing away harmful LDL cholesterol. In a Journal of Nutrition study, seniors who ate almonds daily lowered their LDL by nearly 10% in 6 weeks. That's not just a number. It's fewer pills, fewer appointments, and more walks in the sunshine without that tightness in your chest. Now here's what might surprise you most. Almonds may be your brain's quiet ally. Those same heart-healthy fats help protect your memory. A 2023 study in the British Journal of Nutrition showed older adults who ate almonds daily scored 15% higher on memory tests. So next time you're searching for your glasses or remembering a loved one's birthday, think about what those little nuts might be doing behind the scenes. And there's one more layer. As we age, blood sugar becomes harder to manage. Almonds, with their fiber and low glycemic index, help stabilize those spikes. A study in Metabolism found that when seniors paired almonds with high-carb meals, their blood sugar rose 30% less. That's the difference between feeling sluggish after lunch and having the energy to dance at your anniversary party. If chewing feels tough, just soak them overnight. They soften beautifully into a tender, buttery bite. Sprinkle them on oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or savor them slowly with a warm cup of tea. Just aim for that magic number, 23 a day. Because when you soak those almonds tonight, you're not just preparing a snack, you're building a shield for your bones, your heart, your brightest memories. Growing older isn't about losing spark. It's about fueling it, one almond at a time. Number 3, let me introduce you to one of nature's most powerful little brain boosters, walnuts. These wrinkled, earthy gems might look like miniature brains for a reason. They're packed with nutrients that speak directly to the aging body and mind. And when added to your routine, they can change the way you age from the inside out. You're stirring a batch of oatmeal on a quiet morning, the earthy aroma of walnuts toasting in the pan, mingling with the steam rising from your cup of tea. That simple ritual could be doing far more than filling your stomach. It might be safeguarding your sharpest memories, calming your heart's silent struggles, and even nurturing an invisible army in your gut that keeps you resilient. For seniors, walnuts aren't just a snack. They're a tiny wrinkled shield against some of aging's fiercest battles. Let's start with your brain. You know that fog, the forgetfulness that makes you search for glasses already perched on your head or struggle to recall a neighbor's name. It's not just getting older, it's inflammation quietly gnawing at your neurons. But walnuts fight back. They're the only nut packed with significant amounts of plant-based omega-3s, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. A groundbreaking study in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that older adults who ate walnuts daily for a year showed marked improvements in memory and cognitive speed. Think of each bite as oiling the gears of your mind, keeping stories from your youth vivid and your crossword puzzles solvable. Now let's talk about your heart, that flutter you feel climbing stairs or the dizzy spell when you stand too fast. It's not just fatigue, it's your blood vessels begging for help. Walnuts answer the call. Their unique blend of ALA, antioxidants, and arginine, an amino acid, works like a tune-up for your arteries. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that seniors who added walnuts to their diet saw a 15% improvement in endothelial function, the health of the lining in your blood vessels, in just 8 weeks. Better blood flow means lower blood pressure, fewer medications, and more energy to tend your garden or chase your granddog around the yard. But here's the twist you might not expect. Walnuts are a secret ally for your gut. As we age, our digestive systems grow fragile and immunity wanes. Those wrinkled kernels are loaded with prebiotic fiber, a feast for the good bacteria in your gut. A 2022 UCLA study found that older adults who ate walnuts daily had higher levels of beneficial microbes linked to reduced inflammation and stronger immunity. Picture those bacteria as tiny soldiers, fortified by every walnut you eat, standing guard against colds, infections, and even chronic diseases. Here's how to make them work for you. Crush 14 halves, about 1 ounce, and sprinkle them into oatmeal, where they'll soften into buttery bites. Toss them into salads for a satisfying crunch, or blend them into smoothies for a brain-boosting creaminess. Avoid the salted or honey-roasted varieties. Stick to raw or lightly toasted to keep sodium and sugar in check. One caution: walnuts are calorie-dense, so portion control matters. But when you measure out that daily handful, remember, you're not just counting nuts. You're investing in mornings without brain fog, evenings without heartburn, and years of laughing with loved ones fully present. So the next time you crack open a walnut, listen closely. That satisfying snap isn't just the shell breaking. It's the sound of a door opening to a future where you're not just older, but stronger. Number 2, let's take a moment to appreciate a small green gem with a mighty purpose: pistachios. For seniors, these softly cracking shells aren't just a satisfying snack. They're a quiet ally in your daily fight for strength, vision, and vitality. Picture this. You're settled in your favorite armchair, a bowl of vibrant green pistachios by your side, their shells cracking open with a satisfying snap as you savor each salty, sweet kernel. What feels like a simple pleasure is quietly working miracles for your health. For seniors, these tiny green gems aren't just a snack. They're a lifeline to staying vibrant, independent, and sharp-eyed in a world that often feels like it's moving too fast. Let's start with your heart. That occasional dizziness when you stand up too quickly, or the way your blood pressure creeps higher with each doctor's visit, it's not just part of aging. It's a silent alarm. Pistachios answer that alarm with a powerful nutrient: potassium. Just 1 ounce, about 49 kernels, delivers 291 milligrams of potassium, a natural counterbalance to sodium's havoc. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who added pistachios to their diet lowered their systolic blood pressure by an average of 4 points in just 4 weeks. That's enough to slash stroke risk by 15%, according to the American Heart Association. Imagine that. Every shell you crack could be a step toward more steady mornings and worry-free walks with your grandkids. Now let's talk about your eyes. That frustration when words blur on a menu or colors fade in your garden? Age-related macular degeneration, AMD, steals more than sight. It steals independence. But pistachios fight back. They're packed with lutein and zeaxanthin, two nutrients that act like sunscreen for your eyes. A landmark study in ophthalmology revealed that seniors with the highest intake of these compounds had a 40% lower risk of advanced AMD. Think of each pistachio as a tiny shield, guarding your ability to read bedtime stories, spot birds at the feeder, or admire a sunset's fiery hues. Here's the unexpected bonus. Pistachios are kind to your teeth and waistline. Their tender crunch is gentle on sensitive teeth or dentures, unlike harder nuts that might feel like chewing gravel. And with just 160 calories per ounce, the lowest of all nuts, they're a guilt-free way to curb hunger. A study in Nutrients found that seniors who snacked on pistachios instead of pretzels ate 200 fewer calories daily without feeling deprived. That's the difference between squeezing into your favorite chair and moving through your day with ease. So how do you make them work for you? Choose in-shell, unsalted pistachios. The act of shelling slows you down, helping you savor each bite and avoid mindless overeating. Toss a handful into morning yogurt for a creamy crunch, sprinkle them over roasted veggies, or blend them into a pesto that dances on your tongue. Stick to that magic number, 49 kernels a day, to keep portions in check without sacrificing flavor. One caution: avoid the salted versions. Excess sodium can undo the blood pressure benefits, turning your heart's ally into a foe. But when you opt for the natural ones, imagine each emerald green kernel as a promise to see clearly, move confidently, and relish every moment life offers. The next time you hear that familiar crack of a pistachio shell, remember, you're not just snacking. You're defending your vision, steadying your heart, and choosing a future where you're not just older, but bolder. Number 1. You might not think much of that large, oddly shaped nut at the bottom of the trail mix bag, but Brazil nuts could be one of the most powerful tools in your health arsenal. For seniors especially, these smooth, creamy nuts are more than just a snack. They're nature's prescription for sharper minds, stronger immunity, and perhaps even a shield against cancer. Let's start with what makes these nuts so special. Hidden inside each buttery kernel is a mineral called selenium, a nutrient many of us lack as we age, yet one that's crucial for keeping your thyroid humming like a well-tuned engine. Your thyroid governs everything from your energy levels to your metabolism, and research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that seniors with adequate selenium levels are 60% less likely to develop thyroid dysfunction. Just one Brazil nut delivers your entire daily selenium needs. Think of it as a daily tune-up, like watering a beloved houseplant to keep it thriving. But selenium's magic doesn't stop there. It's also a master defender against oxidative stress, the quiet rusting of your cells that fuels aging. A landmark study in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute linked higher selenium intake to a 35% lower risk of certain cancers, including prostate and breast cancer. Picture each Brazil nut as a tiny shield, guarding your body's delicate balance while you focus on living fully. Tending your garden, traveling to see old friends, or mastering that new recipe you've been eyeing. Now let's talk about your brain. That occasional forgetfulness or mental fog isn't just part of getting older. It's often inflammation quietly clouding your neurons. Brazil nuts fight back. Their selenium reduces brain inflammation. And a study in the European Journal of Nutrition showed that seniors who ate just one Brazil nut daily for 6 months improve their cognitive test scores by 16%. That's the difference between forgetting where you parked and recalling every detail of your granddaughter's graduation day, the scent of her perfume, the proud sparkle in her eyes. Here's the best part. Harnessing these benefits is effortless. Keep a small jar of Brazil nuts by your reading chair or morning coffee station. Grab one or two a day, no more needed, and let their rich, earthy flavor remind you that aging isn't about decline, but about nourishing the wisdom and vitality you've earned. Sprinkle them chopped over oatmeal, blend them into a banana smoothie, or simply enjoy them as is. Their soft texture is gentle on teeth, making them a worry-free choice for sensitive mouths. So tomorrow, as you unwrap that single Brazil nut, remember, you're not just snacking, you're fueling your thyroid's quiet power, fortifying your cells against time's wear and tear, and protecting memories that make life worth savoring. Because growing older isn't about slowing down, it's about thriving with intention, one tiny creamy nut at a time. 4-nut seniors should approach with caution. Number 4, picture this. You're cozied up in your favorite chair, a bowl of salty honey-roasted peanuts within arm's reach as your favorite classic film plays. That satisfying crunch and sweet savory hit feels like a small joy, a harmless treat. But what if I told you that snack could be quietly working against the very vitality you're trying to protect? For seniors, salted or flavored peanuts aren't inherently bad, but they come with hidden stakes that demand a closer look. Let's talk about why moderation and mindfulness matter. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Sodium. That salty kick you love? It's often a Trojan horse. Just 1 ounce of salted peanuts can pack over 200 milligrams of sodium, nearly 10% of your daily limit. For seniors already juggling blood pressure concerns, this adds up fast. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that reducing sodium intake by just 1,000 milligrams daily could prevent 100,000 deaths yearly from heart disease. Imagine swapping that salty handful for unsalted nuts. It's like giving your heart a gentle sigh of relief, freeing you to enjoy more walks, more grandkid hugs, more life. Now let's talk about something you can't see: aflatoxins. These toxic molds grow on peanuts stored in warm, humid conditions, and the World Health Organization labels them a Group 1 carcinogen, directly linked to liver damage. Bulk bins or improperly stored varieties pose the highest risk. Here's the hopeful twist. Choosing organic, reputable brands and storing peanuts in cool, dry places slashes this risk. Think of it as curating your pantry like a museum, selecting only the best protected treasures for your body's gallery. Then there's the omega-6 dilemma. Peanuts are rich in these fats, which in small doses fight infection, but in excess, say, mindlessly munching a whole can, they fuel inflammation. Chronic inflammation is like a slow-burning fire linked to arthritis flare-ups, heart disease, and even memory fog. A 2023 study in Nutrients found that seniors who balanced omega-6s with omega-3s, think walnuts or chia seeds, reported less joint stiffness and sharper focus. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up peanuts. The key is how you enjoy them. Opt for unsalted organic varieties. Their natural nuttiness shines without the sodium overload. Try dry roasted peanuts for a satisfying crunch, or blend them into a Thai-inspired sauce with ginger and lime for a flavor explosion that won't spike your blood sugar. Portion out a small handful, about 28 grams, into a bowl instead of eating straight from the bag. It's the difference between a mindful treat and a risky binge. Think of your body as a vintage car you've lovingly maintained for decades. Just as you choose premium fuel to keep it running smoothly, selecting the right peanuts ensures your engine, your heart, liver, and joints hum along without hiccups. So next time you reach for that familiar can, pause. Ask yourself, does this align with the vibrant, active life I'm building? With a few tweaks, less salt, better storage, mindful portions, you can still savor peanuts' earthy comfort while safeguarding the health you've worked so hard to preserve. After all, growing older isn't about denying joy. It's about refining it, one wise, delicious choice at a time. Number 3, there's something so comforting about cashews. Their soft, buttery texture, the way they melt on your tongue with just a hint of sweetness. You might keep a small bowl nearby while reading or watching the sunset, thinking of them as a healthy little indulgence. And they are. But like many good things in life, cashews come with a handle with care label, especially for those of us navigating the health twists and turns that can come with age. Let's start with something you may not see or taste. Oxalates. These natural compounds found in high levels in cashews combine with calcium in your body and form kidney stones in those who are prone. If you've ever dealt with that sharp, unmistakable pain, you know it's not something you'd want to repeat. According to the Journal of Urology, 100 grams of cashews contain over 120 milligrams of oxalates, more than most other nuts. That's why, for seniors with a history of kidney stones, keeping servings small, around 1 ounce, isn't just a suggestion, it's a protective habit. Then there's something a little sneakier. Carbs. Cashews may feel like a cousin to other low-carb nuts, but here's the twist. Each ounce contains about 9 grams of carbohydrates. That's roughly double what you'd find in walnuts or pecans. For seniors managing blood sugar or type 2 diabetes, that creamy handful could be silently spiking glucose levels. A 2020 study in Nutrients showed that even slight overages in carb intake can lead to noticeable blood sugar swings in older adults. The good news? Pairing cashews with a protein, like a boiled egg or a slice of cheese, can help slow absorption and keep things balanced. And we haven't even touched on how most cashews show up on store shelves. Salted, honey-roasted, fried in oils. These versions may tempt your taste buds, but they also sneak in sodium and unhealthy fats that can nudge blood pressure upward. Research in hypertension warns that added salt in processed snacks like these can increase cardiovascular risks, especially in those over 60. But here's the gentle truth. You don't have to give up cashews entirely. Think of them like a rich dessert, not something to avoid, but something to enjoy in moderation and with intention. Choose unsalted, dry-roasted varieties. Keep portions mindful, about 1 small handful. And if you've had kidney stones or are watching your blood sugar, it's worth talking to your doctor about whether they belong in your regular snack rotation. Cashews are still a joy. They just ask for a little more thought. And that's okay, because caring for your body isn't about restriction, it's about respect, about listening to what you need and savoring life one smart, satisfying bite at a time. Number 2, if you've ever savored a macadamia nut, you know it's like biting into a tiny luxury, rich, buttery, and indulgent in the best way. But as with many little luxuries in life, this one comes with a few fine print details, especially for those of us focused on staying healthy and active as we age. Let's take a closer look at what makes macadamias special and why they deserve just a touch of caution. First, there's the matter of calories. Macadamia nuts pack more than 200 calories into a single ounce, more than any other nut. Just 5 or 6 of these creamy gems carry the same calorie load as a small muffin. That's not a problem in itself, but metabolism naturally slows by about 1 to 2% every decade after age 50, according to the National Institute on Aging. A 2019 study in obesity found that seniors who frequently snacked on calorie-dense foods had a 30% higher risk of abdominal weight gain, a change that's closely tied to heart disease and diabetes. That doesn't mean you have to say goodbye to macadamias. Instead, think of them as a flavor enhancer. 4 or 5 nuts sprinkled over yogurt or oatmeal adds richness without tipping the scale. Then there's the nutrient trade-off. While macadamias are rich in heart-loving monounsaturated fats, they're lower in fiber and protein compared to almonds or walnuts. An ounce of macadamias gives you about 2 grams of protein. Almonds, by contrast, offer triple that. And for older adults, that protein matters. A 2021 review in the Journal of Nutrition emphasized how important protein is in preserving muscle mass and strength, both essential for mobility and independence. So if you're reaching for macadamias, balance them with a source of protein, maybe a slice of turkey or a hard-boiled egg, to keep your energy steady. One more thing that often gets overlooked: dental comfort. Though not as hard as almonds, macadamias still have a firm crunch that can be challenging for those with crowns, dentures, or sensitive enamel. A 2018 study from the Journal of the American Dental Association found that 1 in 5 seniors avoids nuts due to dental discomfort. A simple tip: soaking macadamias in warm tea or milk for 10 minutes softens them while keeping their signature flavor intact. The takeaway? Macadamias aren't forbidden. They're a treat to be savored mindfully. Like dark chocolate or a fine wine, just a little is enough. Keep portions to about 4 or 5 nuts. Skip the sugar coatings and pair them with something nourishing. Because caring for your health isn't about restriction, it's about refinement. And when you make thoughtful choices, even a small handful of nuts can become a celebration of the life you're building. Strong, joyful, and full of intention. Number 1, if you've ever tasted a pesto sauce or sprinkled a handful of tiny, buttery nuggets over a salad, you know pine nuts bring a delicate richness to any dish. But here's the twist. These little gems, often called the caviar of nuts, come with a few quirks that seniors should know about. Let's unpack why pine nuts deserve a mindful approach and how you can still enjoy their magic without unexpected surprises. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room: pine mouth syndrome. Imagine biting into a lovely pasta dish only to have your taste buds rebel days later with a lingering metallic or bitter taste. This rare but unsettling condition, documented in studies like a 2011 report in Food Chemistry, affects a small percentage of people, often striking 1 to 3 days after eating pine nuts and lasting up to 2 weeks. While it's not harmful, it's deeply frustrating. Researchers aren't entirely sure why it happens, but some suspect certain pine nut species or oxidation as culprits. If you've ever experienced this phantom bitterness, it's your body's way of waving a red flag. Listen to it. Avoid pine nuts and explore alternatives like walnuts in your recipes. Now let's address their sneaky side. Pine nuts are tiny, mild, and easy to overeat. A quarter cup can pack over 200 calories, roughly the same as a slice of bread, but their small size tricks you into thinking you're having just a few. A 2017 study in Appetite found that people consume up to 30% more calories when snacking on small, bite-sized foods. For seniors managing weight or blood sugar, this adds up fast. Think of them like confetti. A sprinkle adds flair, but a handful can muddy the picture. Toss a tablespoon into a veggie stir-fry or grain bowl instead of mindlessly nibbling. Here's another detail. Pine nuts are higher in omega-6 fats than most nuts. While these fats aren't villains, balance is key. Modern diets already skew heavy on omega-6s. Think vegetable oils and processed snacks, which in excess can promote inflammation, a concern for seniors managing arthritis or heart health. A landmark 2016 review in Nutrients warned that diets with imbalanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratios may worsen chronic inflammation. Pair pine nuts with omega-3 rich foods like salmon or flax seeds to offset this, turning a potential pitfall into a harmonious bite. So how can you enjoy pine nuts wisely? Treat them like a precious spice, not a staple. Use a light hand in salads or roasted veggies, and always opt for raw, unsalted varieties to avoid hidden sodium. If you're experimenting with them for the first time, try a small portion and wait a few days to rule out pine mouth. Remember, staying healthy isn't about banning foods, it's about dancing with awareness. By respecting pine nuts' quirks, you're not just protecting your well-being, you're savoring their unique charm on your own terms. Life's too short to miss out on flavor, but it's also too precious to gamble with surprises. So go ahead, sprinkle mindfully, and let every bite celebrate both joy and wisdom. After all, the best meals are the ones that love you back. Your health story is unique, so your nut choices should be too. If kidney stones whisper caution, skip high oxalate cashews. Research in clinical nutrition shows personalized diets cut recurrence by 40%. For diabetes, swap carb-heavy nuts for almonds crunch. Dental worries? Choose buttery pistachios. Listen to your body. It's the best guide you've got. So when it comes to nuts after 65, it's not just about reaching for what tastes good. It's about making choices that support your energy, joints, memory, and overall well-being. The right handful can nourish your body, while the wrong one may quietly undo your progress. Research continues to show how something as small as a daily snack can tip the scale toward vibrant aging or chronic inflammation. If this video helped you look at your nut bowl with fresh eyes, give it a like, subscribe for more gentle health wisdom, and share it with someone who deserves to feel strong too.